What?
All right,
Well,
you're good.
we're
We're
live in
live now.
Discord. Yeah,
Yeah.
but so we've been waiting for the FOMC minutes to get released right now, and so this is where we are. We got a handful of positions on. Um, Typically, this stuff I'm doing a strangle where I have a 4,300 call and a 4220 put, which is this is the call option, and this is the put option. Entered the pair about 215. Um, and so these are gonna pop around. I have some limit orders at 7, 5, and a grand. But what we really want to see is we want to see some actual continuation. Right now, it's small profit, but not really enough for me to take. Usually, here we go. This is like one of those event things. So first move's typically fake out move. Then you get a little pivot, and the sustained move is the one that we want to see. Nothing yet. I'm using a 1 minute too, by the way. Sorry, we're just like in actual trades at the moment.
No, you're good. Hey, while you're looking for stuff, you can interrupt me at any time and shut me up if you see something and want to jump in. But I figure I'll just do a quick intro for the people who are just now going to be starting to watch us.
All right.
On our
Buzz
Facebook.
made me this new, so we have a budget for sound effects, so we can afford one sound effect a year. And so here's the intro. Buzz, we made it.
That is
Oh,
very long. Trade's over by the time that sound effects is done.
Anyways, yeah, no,
love
today's a little bit different, right? So I've been pretty light this morning from a day trading perspective. This is looking fine. We want to see some movement here. What I don't want to see on a strangle is flatness, right? And then I'm just going to get hit with this time decay. So that's typically the first move. Now I want to see some kind of sustain something on a 1. So I guess what's important to note here, and I'm not looking at the actual FOMC release. For me, when I'm day trading, it's just, or for when you're day trading, doing the research and stuff on the stocks, etc. It's going to take a little bit too much time, right? Here we go. That is a more sustained move, but this is really what we're looking at. Ideally, we have a 200-day 432. The triangle that we're sitting at, that was at a 215. Now it's at 330. Well, plus 15. So what is that? 350. It's about 100%. We're moving. This is a daily chart, right? So really, it's just like I want to target this 200-day moving average right now. It could go up that high, and I have another. Let me pull my other screens. Sorry, I got like 7 screens right now. And every week, it's just, we've already measured what do I think that the average, so the orange boxes are average weeks ranges. So from Monday's open, like the upside potential for SPY on the week would put you right around, on realistically 435, which happens to be these fib levels. So I got a 0.5, 0.618. And I actually use a 0.65 for the majority of my fib stuff. That's from all-time high to the low, most recent swing low, which is exactly the level where most people would look to short. So we're just playing for a small, actually this is really just a small move. Where are we sitting at now? 415, sustained move. And we're gonna start, so Confluence, I'm looking at things like Apple running. So, as Apple goes the market, right? This is
Apple's
currently one of the most influential ones. Super strong, by the way. And Tesla. So even if SPY is kind of like stalling out here, if I'm seeing SPY or if I'm seeing Apple have a lot of strength, then I'm gonna assume that it's gonna go a little bit higher. The green lines and stuff, by the way, on my charts, these are standard daily moves, so average daily ranges. These are more for volatility tools. They're not necessarily indicators per per se. They're just levels. So at this level, since I'm an options trader, the options formula is actually going to have to like change the pricing of options. So that's when these things start to move like this, and you'll see these little dots start to move. That's when we know options are actually elevated. So if we're long, we want to get it heading into that level and then sell as they're touching or kind of like breaking through.
Paper, can I do a quick intro of you real quick?
Yeah, you need the sound effect that we paid for.
No, that's okay. Thanks.
Yes,
we have
do it
one
again.
more. He has a okay. I think we have a. Did we get the censor button? Should we test it?
Okay, I'm
No,
gonna
no, no.
introduce you now. Oh, yeah, you son of a bitch. Okay. No, but yeah, for those of you guys who are watching, whether you're on our YouTube or our Facebook group, or obviously on our Discord, you already know Paper. But
Are we on Facebook?
if you're not, yeah, we're on our Facebook and YouTube right now.
Nice.
So yeah, this is Paper Profit. Who's been trading for over 10 years professionally, full time. Friggin' beast. One of, if not the best analyst on Discord. Very highly sought after. But guess who's got him in their Discord? The Stock Dads. And we are gonna have Paper doing live streams for us every week in the Discord, every Wednesday for the last 2 hours of the market. So you guys get to see Paper kind of work his magic. And then probably once a month, I'm thinking we may stream it publicly for you guys to get a little taste of it. But yeah, so we'll see. We're excited to have him on the team, and doing some of this stuff right live in real time for you guys, so you can get into some of his alerts even before he is able to type them up and send them out to everybody else. So yeah, Paper, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it. Lots for people to learn.
Yeah, man. Well, it's always fun for sure. So if I'm a little distracted when we're like actually trading, this is kind of what I do for a living. So
No,
I have
you're
a
good.
handful of accounts.
You're good.
What you see here on the right on my screen, these are actually options, by the way. So while I have charts and stuff here, number one, a lot of people ask me like, "Hey, why are you looking at a 1 minute chart?" Legitimately, I have a 30-second chart that I watch a lot, right? But what's true is that I don't look at anything until I've already identified my levels. So this is kind of like an analysis view. So it's always weekly view first, right? Sometimes monthly, then drill down to the daily, and then down to the hourly. And this main one I'll usually have from an analysis perspective, a 15-minute view for I want to see like 1 or 2 weeks across the board. So 5 or so days. If you don't have this kind of setup, a 30-minute chart straight across actually works really well for me for analysis views. But it's not until I have all of the levels. So like Tesla here, right? So Tesla, I'm only looking at that chart because I've already seen all of this, right? And so I'll only be there when I have actual targets already in range, and I'm only looking to really just kind of like snipe that specific precision entry. So if you're trading for a living or something, that's fine, or just learning, people will say, "Hey, I look at a 5." It's nobody looks at a small time frame until you already have like your longer time analysis already down, and you already know exactly what level you're looking for your trade to actually trigger at. So Tesla, I actually didn't send it in any Discord, but the red lines on mine, these are 200-day moving averages locked on the daily time frame. I don't use any other moving averages, by the way. And even if I'm looking at a 1-hour chart, this is a daily moving average. So this is the main one, in my opinion, that you'll look at. The stuff on the bottom here, these are volume metrics essentially, but I don't actually care like what the green and red bars look like. What I care is that volume is actually increasing or decreasing, right? So a lot of these on the bottom are kind of shaded out. This is where it's black like this. When it's going over that, then I'm like, okay, right? Now there's enough volume to make a trade. That's the thing. Like with options, you must have volume. And if there's not enough volume, you probably won't have enough momentum. Just gonna check on this strangle really quick. It's a small move so far, nothing major. Everything's kind of holding. And if you're in the Discord, you guys, you can always I have the chat in the stream open, so we can take a look at whatever you want. There is I'm gonna let this strangle ride for a little bit. We'll see how this goes. It's sitting at 290, well about 320 here from a 215 entry. It's okay. Like I said, we'll have one quick move with a typical fake out, and then this, whatever the second, sometimes third move is, that usually gets legs, and I want to be around for that. And again, Apple looking good. I'm not ready to close any puts, by the way, for that are protective, just because too often than not, things will just completely reverse on a day like today. So Home Depot was actually a kind of a reversal watching for. I got a couple stragglers on J&J. Tesla looks good though, so let's take a look at Tesla. My levels here. So this blue line, by the way, these are automated. Last week's high. Or sorry, last week's low. Right here. I got too many levels. If you're in the Discord, it is last week's high. So the blue line was last week's high. So this is last week's low, last week's high here. Just broke over that. And it's also bouncing up off this 200-day just a minute ago. For me right now, yeah, it's already flipped red to green. It might be chasey a little bit. $6-minute. I'm not hopping into these calls because I'm gotta buy a pullback, by the way. I don't want to buy a breakout. That'll crush you in options. So orange lines are prior day's closing level. So it just broke above. Tesla just essentially just made a flip red to green, right? It's just barely 0.3% up. So that's typically going to be super bullish. So I'd like to see it come down, test that a little bit, and then pop up. Home Depot running. Apple over 175 and change is going to get you the Ivy pop, and 950 on Tesla would be the target. It's a little expensive. And then I'm looking at another monitor, by the way, so I'll look at volume on the option chains. Have to do that first before you even, that's going to supersede my whatever, where's the word? My price target preference. So here's the chain, Tesla. So Tesla, if I was looking at, let's call it 50 strikes, give or take. Here's volume. This is how it should be set up, right? IV, delta, gamma, theta. If you want those, that's fine. The biggest things are volume and open interest. I have bid-ask size. That helps me see how deep the order book is. But 950 right here, you can see it's super clear. 38,000 volume today. That's how many contracts were traded today, right? They are all the way up on the 1000s, but most likely this is a debit spread where they're buying the 950 or selling the 1000s, or could be a credit spread if they're bearish. Down here, more volume on the 900 puts. That's interesting.
DJ is probably like, what?
Yeah. Sorry.
No.
Later on, we can go through this on training stuff. But again, this is where I'm like, I'm gonna make money.
Yeah, this is what
we're gonna have to do it. I don't care about open interest, by the way. When you're day trading, number one, it's only the shortest date to expiration. Buying more time is the opposite of safer. It's quite literally significantly higher risk just from a dollar perspective. And you're not going to get any additional return. So no. And if you swing stuff, the best time to open your swing trades is at the close and close at the open from an IV perspective. So Tesla's going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click that 950 call and I'm going to put it right there. And so I'm actually, the first thing I do is I chart the option before. So I selected it. So this is the process, right? Already had my level. It was like 919 trigger long, right? Upside to 950 on the day. This is the average daily range. Also where I'll get some volatility popping. Go in the contract series. Expirations are called series. And find the most traded contract because that one will give you the tightest bid-ask spread, and the spread, which is the difference between the buy and the sell on the option, that's the one thing that really matters on options. It's not commissions. That doesn't matter, right? It's the spread. That is the highest, the biggest cost for option traders. Small accounts could probably do this. Small accounts might look at a 1,000 call just for a quick day trade. And for most of this stuff, this is going to be a gamma trade, meaning your profit's going to be where it comes in the, like if delta starts at 0.15, 0.25 and closes at the money or gets to the money, and at the money contract should be about 50 delta. So that's the exponential gains. Shoot, we just tagged 610 on that strangle, and I didn't have an order closing there. Let me do this. I do have to send. I'm using ThinkerView script. Is it? Oh, TradingView script? No, these aren't TradingView scripts. But I gotta. I gotta load. G. What I need to do right now is get this ready. So I'm not gonna open a new trade just yet because I already have another trade on. I can't believe I missed that buzz. Should have been yelling at me. I was yapping. Damn it.
I feel your pain on that, man.
Yeah, that was, I blinked. I didn't have the right, I had it, look at this limit was right here and it tagged right there. I should have known better.
That almost happened to me yesterday. We were in a position and it was like, it moved really quick and I was too busy looking at, I was Googling something at the time and one of our members was like, hey, this is moved into the gap. And I was like, oh God, let's take profit.
Looks like it's coming back though. So in this instance, this is where I'll drop down actually into that much smaller time frame. What I don't want to see is a lower high. That's absolutely not what I want to see. And I'm just looking, when I'm looking at this stuff, it's mostly because I'm already in a trade or I'm looking at a very specific sniping kind of level. And if I'm long or the trade benefits, if this underlying goes up, I'm actively looking for a short signal. So a short signal is breaking the lower low, but after that, setting a lower high. For me, that's my trigger. I'm typically looking for a 2-candle close on 6 minutes, give or take. Right now, we have not broken structure. So meaning like this is a high, this is a low. So higher low, higher high, higher low. I mean, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, equal low. So this is why it's like, whoop, caution, lower high, caution. So here, this looks like this is stalling. that strangle is sitting at 390. My momentum stuff actually says that it should pop, should get a little squeezy here. Hopefully. So this is just consolidation, which is okay. I just don't want to be in consolidation too long. So 4 is the value on that strangle right now. And I'm watching similar stuff. So Apple here, same thing. Tesla here, market confluence in general. I got on a whole nother screen, by the way. I have 7 screens. I have like, these are sectors, right? So subsectors, a couple of analysis views, major indices, etc. I just moved this to the wrong screen. Give me one more to take. I really don't want it to come all the way back. It's kind of squeezy, man. Don't want squeezy to the downside.
I don't think I've ever used a second chart. It runs my anxiety.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take a very small bit off, just because it was actually a little bit lower. 365. That's fine. Just because. But I do think it could come all the way back still. We haven't broken like major structure. So here, 427.22. This is again like a major level. I want to come back here. IVs should come back around that level too. Yeah. I don't want to see a huge pullback. 200-day is all the way up at 431. Yesterday's high, 431.70. P&Ls on these strangles for SPX, by the way, are pretty massive. If you do get a decent move, I'll only do on days where I think the volume is going to show up, and this would be one of them. So one other thing sometimes I'll do, right, if I'll just grab a fib on something like this if I'm not in the trade already. So I mentioned fibs like 6.5 and 0.5. Those are the 2 ones that I use. So left to right, always on the fibs, right? So grab the left, whether it's high to low, low to high, doesn't matter, but left to right. And you're looking for this zone in between 0.5 and 0.65 for me. It's just how I do it. So when I have this, because remember this orange line was yesterday's close on Tesla, we said, okay, we'll let it go. We want to see it come back and retest. We waited, I don't know, how long was that, Fuzz? 5 minutes while it was running in front of us, didn't touch it, right? This is like patience from a day trading perspective. I just need to have that very specific setup. If I mean, I don't have any other income, so if I lose money, it's not like I'm just going to be able to put new money to work. I'm not getting anywhere to deposit, so it is what it is. What I have is what I have. I will not risk. So you won't see a whole lot of lottos from me. But so this here, all this, so that's a 50% retrace. Apple, Tesla, that's healthy, is what it is. It is a broken structure. So if you were long calls, you would have wanted to be out. but it's not changing the direction of the current interim like trend. Not yet. But it's not good enough yet to open a new position either. This is what 300 on this triangle. Man, you showed up, Fuzz, and the volume just got sucked away. They're probably just digesting. One thing, side note, energy, by the way, today looks pretty good. Devon was, I do own Devon stock, but like 3 days kind of sideways. I think it's probably gearing up for another move. Don't know which direction, but
Yeah, I had a nice little fill on VLO earlier.
oh my god, dude! I was watching Valero. Valero was beast mode today. Yeah, you don't need to. Definite beast mode on Valero today, no question. You know, I'm kind of bummed on that one. Normally, I don't do that as a day trader, just because the spreads are
Yeah.
typically wide. But I looked at them this morning when I saw the trigger, and they looked wide. But then I looked at it later, and it's like, are you serious? They completely tightened up. I was like
Yeah.
the 120s for this week. Is that what you're looking at?
I have the.
Oh my god! Yeah. So here's Valero, and this is like your IV.
I took the 120s for September.
Oh, you dog.
Yeah. And I didn't even like I had a bid out and it took a dip and I was out getting water or something and I didn't realize I had gotten filled. So
look at my screen
like,
here. So this is why I chart options, by the way. So here's my screen. So this is the 950 call and the 1000 call on Tesla. So we saw it come down here, and now I have like a potentially base, and I can see the range. This is like 86 on the low end on the lotto calls, which is really what they are, and 468 on the low end on the 950s. So as long as this trade is still valid, I'm gonna have essentially an entry would be about here, about 6 on a day trader on these calls, and your stop would have to be 4 or 525, give or take. Yeah, Valero. I wanted to pull up a Valero chart too. I'm gonna miss a trade somewhere if I talk. But here, here's a Valero. So this is the Valero 120 call from this morning. Just so you guys see it and what it looks like.
Crackhead energy.
Yeah. $50 or $40 right here. Now at 100. And this is from here to here, which is only a $3 move. You double up on the options position. By the way, the straggle is looking fine. 950 calls go. 950 call is Jesus. I need to get this other account open. 950, 640. What date is this? 819, 950 call. 630. And that stop would be 525. The low on the contract recently was 530, but in my head, I'm going to put 535 because I got to account for a little bit of a decay. It's flagging. $370. 615. I'm looking lower highs. Yep. Okay, cool. Sending there. I'm executing. So should have just gone through. I don't think it's that's about your delay. If anybody ever wonders what your delay is, that is it. It's not much. 450 on that strangle. Do I take another? I might just set a trailing stop on this strangle.
So for anyone who's not familiar with spreads, what he's doing is he has a strangle, meaning he has a call and a put option on the table. So all he needs is a nice directional move, and he should be okay.
Yeah, so in this instance, we have an event that we can trade around that typically creates a significant amount of volatility. In that situation, I don't care which direction it goes, so I'm not playing a guessing game. I just care that it goes, if that makes sense. And as long as I can open while volatility levels are somewhat muted, or for the intraday volatility levels, not trending volatility, not IVR, not IV rank, I don't care about that. It's intraday. It's very different. Sorry, I don't want to rant. Here we go, Apple coming up. That's strong. We're good. 460. 470. We're good on these calls here. 450. I'm gonna get this ready over here to send. About 125% here. Oh, 140. Here you go. I'll legit send this market if I want to get up. You can't do market if you have huge amounts, and this is not one that you want to have huge amounts on. I'm going to take that where it's stalling. What was that? That's 470. About 130. There's your 5. I can't even type this fast. Fully out of quarter. So 660 on this Tesla call. And I can do at most 4 positions for me. And this is the only reason I can do it. Otherwise, it takes too much time. I got like hands everywhere. Bunch of monitors. Don't think that you could do this at home like this. Not really possible. So I just check on Tesla. Do I want to take a trim? Tesla. My average is 6. Did you take this, Fuzz, or no? No. This gets here, so
I did not.
that's right. Yeah, this is not financial advice. I'm just doing what I do. Everybody does whatever they want to do. I'm gonna take Tesla personally, probably about 725 for the first take, and it'll be like a quarter out. I'm getting that ready. Unless it just stalls. So I'm taking this level, which was this high. Probably should have just taken that. Damn. 675. We'll see if we get lucky. The reason I want to do it just below the last high is because if you were to short, remember people short at lower highs, this is where it would happen. So I want to be out and at least taking some profit before they can slap me. If that makes sense. And my fingers are literally on triggers. 685, 690, 7. I'll just take 7 plus. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna do so I can multitask. I'm gonna do a $10 trailing stop on one lot here, on Tesla, so I can look at SPX at the same time. And whatever that triggers at, that'll be it. 720. You could probably take. When I say 725. Look at execution exactly at that. Ooh, new high. It broke. So if it breaks, I'm not trimming anymore. I'm just gonna let this go. Trail stop. Throw that 10 cent trailing stop on. And let it ride. Your VLO's booming, dude. I was looking at Exxon too. XOM. I added to an existing slob position earlier. I really, dude, you know what I was kind of bummed about today? I really thought we were gonna have Meme-a-palooza today. You know, like sometimes, like when the market gets flat, like people just get bored and then the meme stocks go off. I was kind of hoping for that, man. Not gonna lie. Oxy was watching. It's basing. Tesla's. You know, I'm just gonna take here. Did my trailing stuff hit? Should have hit. It's going to hit, so I'm just gonna send this for you guys.
Yeah, I also have my eye on EOG.
Yeah, I like
for
EOG.
a possible move EOG. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a. What is it? Do you know EQT?
EQT? No, I haven't looked at that one.
Oh, that's Naka's. She's kind of getting. She's curling. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's a 1 hour. So 1 hour trigger long here. 2 to 3 candle setup. Like here's your break above 46.84 was the trigger long, and you can see your entry here. So you're basically at entries. Oh, that's an entry, man. This it would be a swing stuff. So I'll come back at the close. I'd rather, like I said, if it's swinging, I don't need to rush into anything. It's okay. So that was another account on the SPX straddle triangle. This is P&L on that. 225%. Sir, be out half right. Yeah. Take some more if you got it.
So it looks like we got a guy that took Tesla 1000 calls.
Yep. So that would be a good one for a small account.
Yeah.
You need to hold momentum. And remember that upper daily range 950, you want to be taking some serious profits, right? Like what you want to do is you want to take profit if it stalls out, right? Because with options, remember volatility and momentum is key. regardless of price action. That volume, momentum, all that kind of stuff, that actually matters just as much, sometimes more than your actual price action. Price action is not how these are calculated. So it's a factor, a portion, a small percentage. It is not stock goes up by call. It is not stock goes down by put. Unfortunately, significantly more nuanced than that. So if it stalls out, start taking. Moral of that story. You got some pretty big profit taking here, but this is pretty standard. So the S&P at 4 for SPY, I'll just talk SPY because that's what's on my chart. At 429.70, 429.71, SPY flips red on the day to green. If that were to happen, and we also want to see where's our 200-day, by the way, 200-day moving average, we were toying with it. And you guys, if you were trading with us yesterday, you know how violent something can move at a 200-day moving average right here. Tap, smack, like, God, bitch. What is it? Where's the beep? Bitch slap. That. But yeah, it'll do this. So these big time frame moving averages, they kind of like act like magnets, just like any other support resistance level. So expect the push down, and then expect also like an attempt to come back to it. It's very typical, and it might get rejected more than once, which is okay. But at a certain point, sometimes they'll overcome it, and then if they go above it from coming in up to it, it'll break through, take profit because it'll come back, and it might it might go all the way down below it and then try it again until it decides an actual direction. And it's not till you're a little bit further away from those major moving averages that you can get a trend. Otherwise it's legitimately choppy. It's just choppy. All right, so on the strangles, by the way, there's no way to lose money. So those are opened at 215. I'm out 50. I have half of it out, right? And so at this point, just knowing the numbers, right? There's only profit writing. Just because it's only profit doesn't mean I'm going to let this go to zero. It's my money. It's not the house's money. So whenever anybody says it's the house's money, let it ride, it's still your money. And that shit's important. So my bad. More ranting from me. See, I'm hopping back and forth between a bunch of different streams. So okay. Nice. Yeah, if you get lots. So I like day trading. I like to be able to scale out. That's pretty important so that you can get into a situation where you're riding profit, but still able to keep it going, like taking profit along the way. Does it strong. Apple hit this. So by the way, Apple at 177 and change, I think it was. At a really cautious level. So you had this big old devil top 178 on Apple last time. This weekly looks like it's a bit draining. So 177.56. If you were to short Apple, it would be any moment. So I'm very cautious there. 176.71 would be like a real, a really big short. I'm just going to put this up here. And it is high, lower high. And the way you do this for sniping people is you take the bottom of the lowest of the low right before the very last high. So if this is the very last high, you take the very bottom of this candle, which is the pivot low. That's 176.92. We're not there yet, I don't believe. We are very close. Look at that. 176.92. Super close. So, and I'll check up on some of this stuff, right? So Tesla here, here's my contracts. Here's the chart. The chart is making higher lows and higher highs. So that's, again, what I'm looking for to decide if I'm going to stay in a trade. So higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher low. That's okay. It's still kind of losing momentum. So at this point, I'll look at the contract and I'll say, well, 670 was this pivot low. I don't want to put a stop at 670. Sometimes people will do this and it just wicks there for like half a second and they get completely like you sell the bottom, which sucks. So I don't actually put hard stops. I will put hard limit orders like you guys saw just a second ago. But I'd much rather have an order sitting there working to better my account rather than lock in a loss. If that makes sense, especially when bid-ask spreads get a little wild. Can I mute Karos? I can. All right. Server muted. Homie, ping if you're back. Cool. Can I share my TV script? Yeah, later for sure. Crazy Pop, you had a day. Yep. I'm just checking up on this chat. Holy. If you're writing a lot of stuff, I can't really see it. Zoom put city. All right, I was going to be short coin coming in. Zoom is not put city. So here's like perfect example. And you guys, I'm flipping through different time frames literally the entire time. For day trading, I really look at this 15 quite a bit. I don't know if I want to be healthy pullbacks, right? 427 here is okay. Don't really want to see all the way here, but it could happen. You got any setups, Fuzz? Or anybody?
I'm just kind of managing right now. I'm not actively seeking. I did pull up that coin chart, which yeah, I was looking for a breakdown as well, but it is holding pretty decent there so far. So yeah, I didn't really nibble there on coin because Bitcoin is at an interesting spot. So I'm kind of, it's either going to hold or it's not for me as far as Bitcoin goes. So la la land there.
It sucks. We can't. We're gonna have an echo too for Fuzz. By the way, there's not really a way around that for this setup.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Since we had virtual audio cables, I think that's a thing. I'm still good on this SPX. Dang, it got to 740. That's hilarious. Doesn't take much. Had Merck on this morning, took a little profit, still solid uptrend. Tesla. So at this point, like if you're in 1,000 calls on Tesla, I'm like near back to my entry. That's where you got to be really careful for a small account because it's not going to reclaim. Even if it does go back a little bit, it won't really reclaim until it's way up here. Does that make sense? If it comes back to here, it's not going to be where it was 10 minutes ago. It's not how the options work. Inside bars everywhere. What am I gonna take a minute? So I'm not gonna trade Valero. Day trade. Is that Sava? Oh, You remember Sava?
Yeah. We were looking at Sava earlier this morning,
Oh yeah.
and I don't really touch. Well, I don't know. Is Sava a meme name? Because I don't think so. I don't.
Bluebell.
I try not to touch some of these hype train names.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just not.
Sava's like, I mean,
Yeah, it's not too much my cup of tea. So, I mean, I've done AMC plenty of times, but I've kind of stayed out of the way on this one. Like
Sava's one.
BBBY.
Yeah, I remember getting Sava. The first time it was like pennies, dude. Tiva. Why is Tiva on a volume gainer? That's new. That hasn't been on a radar for a very long time. I mean, like years. This is like generic pharmaceutical company.
Yeah,
Used to be a big old Berkshire position.
I was toying with the idea of being a degen and grabbing a $3 call for Party City.
I mean, you know, like if it's funny money for sure, like what you would
Right.
put on a blackjack table, you can do that. You can only do it so many times, right?
Right.
But that is what it is. Otherwise, looking at something like this is this is a legitimate company. Like if you have prescriptions, they probably say Tiva on them. This is kind of a different story. Like if companies make those big moves, right, when they go from absolute crap to just okay, and technically this has just gone from absolute crap to just okay, and at least these earnings just went. So you know what? We got Paxton in here, not in here this chat, but I'm gonna go into the premium chat and I'm gonna hit up Paxton. This is where this dude comes in super handy. So premium stock chat, is that right?
Yeah. 29.
So Paxton, I'm just gonna ping him. So if you like, you got to give him a little bit of background. Something like Tiva, it's got to be a different view. So I'm gonna go monthly, weekly, daily, hourly. Max there.
Pepsi's been pretty good.
Staples in general, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? He probably just needs a daily. You have to go. It can't even be just a daily. Holy crap. No.
CSX might be interesting.
CSX, I have a position in CSX right now, sir. Yes, sir, I do.
Tell me more.
Yeah, it's like September. But yeah, oil,
Okay.
I'm very much interested in there.
If NP Bull is in here, he'd probably be. I don't see him, but he loves him some CSX.
Yeah, CSX. I got X on here. This is super interesting. Mantiva way up here. 200 at 858. Scooby. So coming back to break even on that triangle. Again, it's not, even if this triangle now goes below my cost, I'm not losing money. So I'll be okay leaving it hang for a little bit. Tesla, on the other hand, we're dinking around here. So this was break structure here. I should have closed at 925, but I didn't. So now it doesn't really change character until it's below 920, which was my entry level. But check this out. Here's the option. even though it's coming back and it's above where I entered, the price of the contract is not. So this is what I mean. Like, here's your decay intraday. Do I want to flip? No, I don't want to flip on the trade because it's still an uptrend. This dashed line, by the way, it's just like this is the consolidation high from another level on SPX or S&P. See that? If you would have closed right there at your break even, it probably would have been the low. I don't want to add though. Not unless I see momentum. Hey, your UPS had a nice little gap down. I was thinking about trading it back to the upside too. Did you see that? UPS and FedEx both.
Yeah, those are both doing pretty darn peachy keen there.
Yeah.
My uncle works at he's a truck driver for UPS.
Nice.
He's actually retiring soon. But yeah, he always tells me if they're busy. But yeah, I like their chart for real.
Yeah, no, the
FedEx.
transports in general. I was actually transports. Speaking of, I don't do a whole lot of options on, but like UNP.
Yeah.
If you know that one.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice looking chart for transports. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was a few days ago. Now it's like, okay, you could pull back a little bit here.
Yeah. As soon as I looked at CSX, I immediately went to UNP.
Yep. That's the deal. Look at that though. It's kind of like bouncing right up off. All right, so Tesla here. I don't like that. Still not going to close. This is still not bad enough for me to close quite yet. So here's the thing. If I'm looking to close, I'm looking what is a long trigger and what's a short trigger. So a trigger long for me would be if it kind of hits these two and bounce. So if it's above, if it hits this and bounces, that's fine. But below this, for sure, it's a close. Because if you were sniping, right around here would be an entry. But this is a higher, a lower high, lower high. This is really the lower high. But I don't have this broken yet. So this could just go straight to the side, which is not good for options either. So if that's the case, I want to take profit really at the next lower high, which should be, remember what I just did, the bottom of the candle right before the last high, 927.71. I got crude futures on another screen. I might just move it to USO. Probably pulling back a little bit. Dixie's fine. Sorry, this other screen I check is all the major indices for Confluence, etc. VIX, crude futures, bonds, Dixie. Okay. If crude's going down, I'm still going to be fairly bullish on equities. Go ahead, sorry.
I started to look at some of these retail names since we got Walmart and Target out of the way.
Yep.
So I'm looking at Dollar Tree here for a possible swing.
Yeah, Dollar Tree, Dollar Gen. Both of those. They got earnings coming up too pretty soon. So you have a somewhat of a catalyst. So see this Tesla, why I'm not closing? Like it's slightly down, but the position itself is profitable, right? Like I've not lost any money on the day on Tesla because we did take profit. That's what I really care about. The strangle, on the other hand, does not have much more to go before I cut her out. Sit in buck 20. At this point, I could probably pick direction. Here's the put on SPX. So this is power. Our last hour of the trading day is typically the highest volume hour. So I'm okay holding. I'm expecting volume to come back in. And this is when we'll get either a continuation or a reversal. What I don't want to see for a strangle is a straight up flat line, which is very possible. So just be aware. Don't want to see that. Tesla, if this is a higher low, I'll need to get out too. Or a lower high, sorry. Super tight.
Holy ADP. What the heck happened there? So sorry, ADP.
Oh,
I just now came over to that side. It's crazy.
yeah. Again, I'm gonna be liquidity on the option chain. So like most of it, so my minimums to trade or even consider looking at trading for options, just for options. I'll trade equities all the time too. I don't send that, but like I do it all the time because there's just stuff like Lockheed. I will trade from a equity perspective, but I won't touch for options. But minimums would be like a 10% difference between the bid and the ask. So if you look at an options chain, the difference between what you can buy it for now and the best that you can sell it for now. If it's $1,000 contract, I will not. If it's more than $100 in between those two numbers, the bid and the ask, I'm not even considering it. That's just like my mental thing. So again, like as an example, people complain about commissions all the time. But what they don't look at is that. And like, if the stock, just think about it, if the stock goes nowhere, let's say you buy it for 1,000, the stock goes nowhere and you want to close it, the best you can sell it for is less than 900. That's a 10% hit out of the gate. So like that's why that's what matters. Nothing else really to me. No, I mean, well, liquidity is like required. Not stock liquidity options.
Yeah.
Yeah, liquidity on stocks, whole nother thing. Dude, I really like Tiva. What is going on? All right. This would be about where we move. Did you know which one hasn't moved yet? Game stunk.
Everyone stopped playing GameStop and AMC to do the
Yeah,
other names.
you're on what, Revlon?
Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm on Express. Not horrible. Hold on. I gotta stop messing around here. Okay, so now this is why, right? Like why I didn't close it, even though the cons did pull back a little bit. At least we trimmed. All right. I say we, sorry. At least I trimmed. This is my thought process, which is what's mostly important. I trimmed up here, right? Was able to hold them here, not losing any money on the position. Didn't close at the low. And here, since I was making higher lows, this is where I'm like, okay, it's not breaking the low. It's consolidating. I'll be okay. I want to get out at the next lower high. I hope that wasn't it because I was just talking. But either way, that's still a little bit above my actual entry. Well, not much. So at this point, it's going to be where? It's going to be right there. 923, 24. It can hit that, still be a higher low, and still be a valid trade. And hey, man, this might actually happen tomorrow.
Getting a pop on tough built.
You like these like low float ones?
It's just
EVLT?
so interesting how they just randomly well, it's probably not random, but they just take their
Hey, man.
turns, you know?
Yeah. Do you remember? Okay, so this is a low, a new low. I don't want that. Do you remember what is it? Black and Decker. What is that ticker? PL. Okay. SWK. Stanley Black and Decker. Oh, that's so expensive. What happened there? No. Apple. Let's do Amazon. 140. Wow, that thing's hanging in. Google. 120. Google's not really going anywhere. About to have to cut Tesla. See McDonald's. All areas. Walmart coming back. Oh, Canopy. Do you have that? DraftKings playing 200. All I'm doing here is I'm just toggling through a list of typically somewhat liquid tickers sorted by, personally, I just sorted by percent. I don't want percent. I'd rather do by dollars. Some of these kind of look reversey. Wow, NVIDIA came all the way back. Dude, some of these kind of look short to me. Let's see. trying to get out on a lower high. Again, I just missed that Tesla exit. Would that just be amazing if we completely flush? Looks like we're gonna flush. SPY never made it to green on the day, man. He's flushy. Dude, not even letting up.
Yeah, I think it's just technical. I'm not seeing any news.
No, I mean it could be. It's. I mean, technical is fine. If this was like an intraday head and shoulders, that would have just played out in its entirety. So, okay. In its entirety, meaning like measured move from neck to neck down there. Dude, what happened to Micron today? That thing was nasty.
I don't know. I'd like for it to come in maybe just a little bit more. But yeah, this gap down and just absolutely trash. Yeah, semi is just a little bit of a hit today. Yeah, even AMD was pretty weak.
Yeah. Like major volume on the sell side.
Looks like we are right back to where we were
Yeah.
at about 2 o'clock.
Yeah. We can get volume here again, like right here, but it's like we have 45 minutes to trade left.
Yeah.
So I was just cleaning up some positions on my other screen here. Did I sell my single call spread? Not yet. I need to. This is what I'm looking at. Remember, I measured 6.5. It could. This for me, this is where we were gonna have a new direction.
Let's see, do you mess any with Forex or anything like that?
No, I mean I could, but
I gotcha. Someone on Facebook was asking. So.
oh yeah, I trade with a lot of funded traders through many different prop firms, so it's totally a thing. I think that's the benefit of Forex. You could trade futures in Forex, and again, as an options trader, my specialty is volatility. If you don't understand volatility and the way that the option pricing model works, I would absolutely suggest trading futures over options 1,000 times over. You don't have all the nuances of the Greeks and things like that. It is a linear payout. It's much cleaner. And you have the option to be funded if you can show a steady track record. So it's not, I think that's probably the barrier for a lot of people. I might flip on this. It's easy, like hard here. If you have the ability, like in options here for me, if I was long 950 calls, and I probably will in a second, I can sell 930 calls against 950s and create a credit spread and make all my money back and then some. You can't do that kind of stuff on futures. And like when I do that in options trading, people are like, dude, you're cheating. I'm like, no, I'm not, dude. It's not my fault. You don't understand how they work. But like it's just how it is. It's not raw price action. But so if you're some of the stuff that I was looking at, like some of the stuff that I was just talking about, the futures Forex strategy called like smart money concepts, inner circle traders. That's where that comes from. It's very similar, but it's basically what it is. And I do use that plus, the strat plus like Wyckoff stuff and then volatility nuances. But yeah, it's all relative. I just, if you're starting out and learning how to be proficient in your trading and you're good at price action futures, and some of those prop firms are really cool because just the capital requirement to make this a living is a huge hurdle. There you go. So you would flip on most of this here across the board. Let me see if I can find one for the GPs. So it'd probably be a 425 0-day put. And I'm not going to go SPX on this because we're near the end of the day. It would be SPY from a liquidity perspective. Can't send that now.
Yeah, every now and then I like to do I try to do a butterfly pin on the SPX.
Yeah.
Those are always fun.
10-to-1 payout.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You can get some juicy stuff off of those.
So here's like, I don't know if you guys know, like when I mentioned Wyckoff earlier, it's just looking at the structure of the market, right? And it's like, this couldn't flush any lower on SPY, right? So it's not just going to sit here and get more sellers. It needs to go up to get more buyers, and then it can flush. Does that make sense? Wherever it is, it's either going to go here, and if it could collect them in this area, that's fine. But most likely, there's like this little, and again, this is like micro chart, fair value kind of gap here that it could push up into and be a more ideal short. We're running out of time on the day. Lots of stuff could still happen. Anybody catch any headlines on this debrief? Big sitting at 20. Look at this. Straight back. But I don't want to take something like this, to be honest. Like if you do take this, like this would be a perfect example of a potential futures trade, just going from here to here on futures. That could be a couple $100. And if you're a funded trader, you don't have to put up like that's the thing, they give you the collateral. So you're just netting the difference and keeping actually a large percent of profits. Like that is huge. If you're trying to do this on your own, like one futures contract, depending on your broker, could be, multi hundreds to multi thousands, depending on if you're not using the right broker. But yeah, futures are like solid for scalpy stuff. Options are not good. They're not easy to scalp. Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to look at any earnings? We got Intel tonight. Oh, we got Intel tonight. And I have a position on Intel, so I need to check that.
Let's see, we got Cisco.
Oh, that's what I meant. Cisco, not Intel.
Yeah,
Hello.
Cisco, Bath and Body Works. Yeah.
Come on, I was like, better damn not have a position on something where earnings are coming up and not really have a plan, you dingbat. My bad.
Let's see.
So here's what I do. I'll use a tool like this, filter today or after market close, and then filter by options volume. Coles, Tapestry. That is it. No, I'm not going to trade Synopsys because they don't have the spreads. It's just Cisco.
Yeah, other than that, we don't really have a whole lot.
I'll model Cisco real quick. When I say model Cisco, is I'm going to go look for, like I'm going to pull up a spreadsheet. I'm not going to share this, but I'm going to go find historical gaps and compare it to the implied gaps or implied move. And then I'm going to see if we're overpriced or underpriced and where the edge is and what that position looks like. But yeah, it's a lot of math. Also, what needs to be done if you're going to do this and make money.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, you got to do you got to do some math.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, so Cisco has HV 30. Well, 13.7% move last quarter, 5.5, 3.8, 0.7. Average move 4.8%. That move is.
It looks like their market makers are pricing in plus or minus 2.37.
Yeah, I got 240.
Yeah.
2.4. And so, okay, so the average move is 225. They're pricing in $2.40. That's not horrible. It's just that last quarter that kind of throws me off. 47 calendar would be 27.32. So I'll call it 30 cents for a calendar. It is $4. And then I compare, I don't know if I want to go super in depth here, but something called skew, horizontal skew, time disparity, like IV skew between series on strikes. So if you look at an option chain, like the IV on the shortest dated expirations, that's where the move is really priced in. But it's not so much on the later dated strikes. And so the difference between the short vol and the long vol is your edge. As long as the edge is good enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fancy, right? So just an example, right? Like 2 weeks out. So this week's short vol, this week's expiration, 85.7, 86% IV on that chain, on the series. 2 weeks out, it's only 37% IV. So the difference is a 50-point disparity, and that's your edge. So you have to know how to calculate the crush, which that's probably a little special spot. So the front vol will crush by 39%, regardless if it has a standard move. Back vol will crush by 3.5, which gives me break evens on a time spread. So if I did a time spread on Cisco, I can make money up to 49.25 and down to 44.75, which would be 5% move to the upside or a 4.5% move to the downside has an average move of 480. I would have lost money once, twice. This will probably model. Risking. Call it $20 to make 35. Here. There you go, Fuzz. Special sauce. I just modeled 1.5 year back test, 2-week calendar on Cisco. Cost about $30. This win rate is not that great. 67% probability over a year and a half time to make 125%, risking 28 to make 35 overnight. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Mm-mm.
Like you said, that was with a calendar spread.
2 week, yeah.
2 week. Yeah.
Yeah, typically go 2 week. Yeah,
Is that how you
September.
normally treat earnings? Do you normally do calendar spreads?
Yeah, I don't typically do condors.
Okay.
Only because like condors and net credit, right? And so in a condor, you can lose more than you can make. I do like butterflies, like iron butterflies or short butterflies, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to take a YOLO, like actual stab at it. Dude, we're just flatlining on the indices here.
Yeah, it's staled out. Like we came right back down to VWAP and just poo-pooed out.
30 minutes left.
I do like CSX. I'm debating if I want to jump in on that or not.
CSX.
Yeah.
I have a September. I'm sorry. I've been thinking CVX. I have CVX. I don't have CSX. My bad.
It's a little different.
I kind of like Devin, but it's not really triggering yet. CVX is here. Yeah, this volume is not enough to trade for options. Yeah, I'm just looking at some more of this earnings data. 48 to oof. Super light allocation, Cisco. I think I'm gonna go. There's only volume on the call side. What did I say that was? Break evens. 25. Yeah. Or 75. Do I like this pay zone? I kind of do, but if it flushes, man, it's just going to go below 44 altogether. Yeah, I like the put side better. It's just a little bit higher, like better risk reward on Cisco.
On Cisco?
Yeah, 49.24, give or take, on both to the upside, but it's a little more on the downside. It's like 43.50. Cheaper. It's like $20. All right, I'll put a limit in for a handful of these. 20. Just let it sit. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which strike you choose or if you choose calls or puts, to be fair. What matters is that it's just outside of the money right before the close. So like 46.50s also work. It's not directional, actually. It's just I'm getting some weird spreads now.
It's where sometimes pricing out options is the most tedious thing.
Well, so as you get closer to the close, if something has earnings, volatility, the closer you get to this event, the higher IV becomes. So it's actually increasing into this close more often than not. Yeah, executions matter.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably like all that matter. 20 minutes.
Let's see.
Cisco sitting on yesterday's close too. What you gonna do? So I'll leg into stuff. Like I don't know if you're familiar with legging in. So like if I do a put calendar, I what you were hearing is like me buying puts up here, and I'm watching this, so I'll let it go a little bit, and then I'll sell the short puts right before the close,
I
or
got
right
you.
before it changes character. It's not super risky if you're not used to it, but it's just a way to get the same trade at a discount.
Yeah, there's so many ways.
Mhm.
Like the options on options is endless.
Yes, sir. See you.
But you also have to be careful because you don't want to put yourself in a spot that you didn't mean to.
Yeah, that's why it's risky. Like if you don't read direction correctly,
Uh-huh.
then you're gonna end up, and you try to do it, you end up paying way more for the same trade.
What's poppin', homies?
What's up, man?
Anything good?
I mean, we pretty much flatlined. I think the strangle was legit. Like, I'm super happy with that on SPX. Doubled the money there. Tesla was okay, but I didn't close it in time, so I ended up like break even on that. Actually, it was a couple dollars loss. But
What was that swing you were looking at earlier? You said you didn't want to rush into. What were you seeing there?
Right now, the one I'm like positioning into as we speak.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's just an earnings trade, like short vol trade. I'm not taking a directional trade. It's just it's a time spread. Selling this week's shortest dated calls or puts, doesn't really matter, and buying later dated strikes against it. It's a system. Like it's a hard, like it's just it's a system that I worked on for years. But it's just like you take option prices are derived by the probability, like from the probability of this strike expiring at the money on expiration. So they get probability by standard deviation. I'm getting nerdy as hell, man. I'm sorry. It's the only way to do it. But that's how it works. Like standard deviation is like the average move over time, blah, blah, blah. But like that's how it works. And every time there is an earnings event, there is an average move. And so that average move is actually priced into the option chain before it happens. And it's priced in because without fail, there is what's called an opening gap every time. And so the closer that event is to the options expiration, it's pricing in that move, right? That average gap. The day after the event is over, well, options are smart enough to actually know, well, they don't have the same implied move anymore. They don't have the probability of it gapping a second time. So it's only today that probability of gap is priced in. So tomorrow it's gone. And so the prices they call it IV crush. Like people are like, oh, I got crushed, right? Well, they're talking, that's what we're talking about. It's volatility. It's not theta. Theta doesn't, I don't think theta is so small of a metric on options. It's out of control. Like it's a non thing for day traders, specifically day traders. What is a thing is volatility. And that has your impacts. But I don't want to swing like equity position or new equity, or I'm not super comfortable even swinging puts here. Just because this is like FOMC induced kind of move. Like anything can happen tomorrow. Most of the time, it's like you get this move for a day and a half, maybe,
Right.
and then it all reverses, 36 hours later. So they'll digest whatever was in the minutes tonight, and then tomorrow morning they'll come out guns blazing. But this week we will have volume. That's a good thing.
Yeah, like I got a list of a few names that I'm kind of watching that I might nibble on, but I don't want to add anything extra.
Yeah,
for today.
for sure. Like this is not This is not time to go swinging for the fences or anything like that.
No.
So that's what I like about earnings trade, is that they're totally market independent.
So interesting how different traders have such different strategies and styles. I've talked to pretty seasoned and tenured traders that won't touch earnings. So it's just,
Yeah.
everybody's
Well,
just different. It's so
seasoned
it's,
is relative, right? For sure. It's more of a you could be seasoned in price action, but not volatility. And this is a straight up volatility trade. So that you could be a very seasoned trader
in your own style, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you're watching this live on any of our platforms, make sure to drop a like and, hit up the comments and, let us know if you want us to keep doing these live for you guys on Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that as well. We obviously do lives every day in our Discord. Paper goes live once a week for us, and Fuzz goes live every day for us, every morning. And then we have some other analysts, as we had Crisp go live a couple weeks ago, we do some different strategies, different live sessions, pretty regularly. We also have obviously real-time alerts, education, all that kind of stuff for stocks, options, crypto, sports betting, and all that kind of stuff in our Discord. So yeah, make sure that you guys check it out, stockdads.com. Really want to keep bringing more value to you guys. So obviously the more interactions we get and stuff on our platforms like Facebook and YouTube on stuff like this, is the more likely we're going to be to keep doing it. So make sure to engage with these posts and all that kind of fun stuff too.
Love it, man.
What are you looking at, Paper?
I'm still positioning. I'm legging into that
Legging
calendar
into
spread
Cisco?
right now. So I'm looking at 12 minutes to go. I bought puts a little early, somewhere in here. I don't remember. And now I'm watching it pull down, and I'm selling shorter dated puts against it as we go to get me a nice little discount. I wasn't expecting to get this much of a discount, but I'm good with this right now. I'll probably take this. I feel like I'm being greedy if I go anymore, but it's not breaking.
Interrupt me if something important happens while you're scaling in. I'm just gonna chat for a couple more minutes here.
No, it's not. It's not important. Yeah, so it looks like this: selling short dated contracts, buying long dated contracts, like that, and this way, if it goes too high, this is going to protect me. If it goes too low, this is going to protect me. And so anywhere in between, I don't have like an unlimited. A lot of people do like short straddles, short strangles. I do like the time spreads here because I don't have that unlimited loss.
Very good. So yeah, we just had a promo. We limited it to 50 spots to get into the Discord on a discount. We are going to be increasing our prices in about a month. So last opportunities, over the next couple weeks to get in and grandfathered in at our current cheaper prices. Current prices are at stockdads.com/plans. You guys can check those out. They're going to be a good bit higher come a month from now, with all the added value that we've bursted into the Discord. We sold those 50 spots out in less than 24 hours. So, stuff is filling up quick. So if you guys see anything from us, a promo or anything like that, make sure you're jumping on it. Right now we're not running anything else because we sold that out. So, but you still are going to get in a great deal at our full price currently, because it's going to be, again, much more expensive come a month from now. So get stuff like this all the time, alerts, education. The alerts include usually stop loss levels, profit taking levels, the ticker explanation why, for options alerts, you're getting the strike price, the expiration date, and all that kind of fun stuff, so you could see what our traders are trading live. And this stuff is even more real time when we're doing the live stuff here. So chats are super active all day, every day. Every member gets a personal mentor when they join up and taken through our proprietary roadmap, which is just a fully developed outline of the processes that we feel would be a good process to take yourself from beginner level to intermediate to more advanced level techniques and strategies, and all kind of with the support of a mentor and all that kind of stuff as well. So I'll kind of wrap up with the sales pitch, I guess, there, and let you kind of wrap up the last 10 minutes or so of Power Hour here, Paper, and then we'll kind of wrap up.
Yeah, I did, by the way, on the Cisco. So remember I said it's not directional. So calls, puts didn't matter. The only thing that matters is that it's just out of the money at expiration. So I'm done with the 46.50 put calendars, and I actually just started legging into the 47s. Again, doesn't matter. I had a question, DJ. Did they get is Only Dads included also?
Only Dads will be part of the upgraded membership. No, I'm just kidding.
I love it. the best though. Yeah, Matt, can I show them what it looks like?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen anything, but who can I pick on here? Is Scooby in?
Yeah, pick on Scooby for sure.
Oh, where's this channel? I don't have it, but look here, right here. Oh, I can't. These are all your traders, man. All this stuff. Everybody in here.
Yep. Yeah, we've got some of the best of the best.
Trades in, out, and a lot of analysis. I know we all do analysis.
We just added your boy Paxton in yesterday.
Yeah, Paxton's a beast. I was gonna say like if we're in trades, all it is a trade journal. That's the truth. That's what it is, right? And as I'm in stuff, we're describing what we're seeing, right? And hey, careful. We're hitting the 200-day literally as we speak on a trade. I think at this point, there was something where 250%, and then look, once it hits, this is just as I'm doing it. So that was entering puts later in the day, and then what happened? Oh yeah, so that was puts. This was a good one yesterday, right at that 200-day enter puts at 290. And then out for 1250, and then you get your stuff. But yeah, all the stuff that we're doing.
We've got swing alerts, day trade alerts, scalp
our
alerts.
Boy Fuzz.
Long-term investments, positional trading. 3 to 6 months alerts. I mean, we got all of it.
Where's Paxton?
It's not financial advice, but it it's like Paper said. It's just literally logging what these guys are doing in real time and
journals.
giving out
Our
ideas
trade journals.
And
that's all it is. It's so cool too. Bro, if I had what most of these people have now when I was trying to learn, I mean,
dude,
I don't know tell you. How much
years ago
how
when
much
I started,
spent lost trying to figure this out. Had I had access to people who are already doing this for a living or already doing this. All right, I sold my short calls and I'm done for the day here. And how many Paxton's got? He works in VC. If you want fundamental stuff, you got a bunch of longer, all kinds of stuff, man.
Dude, yeah, I mean, even just straight up from 2 years ago, the amount of learning and resources and stuff that has become available that that we've packed into this server, and it's pretty wild. This is the kind of stuff that really accelerates learning a lot. I feel rather than wandering aimlessly around YouTube for hours, not knowing what you're watching or who you're watching, as you may be watching us on YouTube right now. All that kind of fun stuff. And then, reading books after book after book after book, which, by the way, we have about 350 of those in our Discord as well. It's just an incredible resource for anybody that wants to learn, or even guys who are already doing this, like just getting in and being able to talk and trade with a community is just so much more fun than doing it by yourself. And just so many more ideas, so many more eyes. Fuzz's job is literally to be the eyes and ears of the market for my people, for the Discord. So, I mean, if something happens, like, our people know about it damn near pretty close to first, outside of, like, freaking, like, a Bloomberg terminal, maybe, like some of that kind of stuff. But it's pretty impressive stuff what we're doing. So, and now we're just adding in another layer with you live trading and Fuzz live trading constantly and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's pretty awesome. Definitely want to check it out. Stockdads.com.
Very cool, man.
All right, we got 3 minutes left here. Is there any parting words? Any last second wisdom you want to impart on the peeps?
Last second wisdom? No, I mean, it's all I can say, man, is like just use the resources, right? Like I just think it's so cool for people to have these kind of resources in general, like coming to Discord and groups like this. Like there's so many that are wild. Like at this point, I've seen enough 50K YOLOs to last a lifetime. And what's cool about yours is like everybody's there to actually learn and it's more about education. So it's different.
Yeah, we don't do the get rich quick crap.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely have some gamblers in our group, who like to
sure,
but have
like
some fun every once in a while and do some stuff like that. But it's we're dads, so we got we got bigger picture stuff to worry about and take care of and provide for. So
it's always tactical, at least.
Yep, and we gotta have a little fun every once in a while. You can't.
Come on.
Can't always play by the rules. You gotta take a little fun money every once in a while and flush it down a toilet on an AMC call or something.
Yeah, man. That AMC setup was like that was easy money, right?
Keeps
For a
things
while.
interesting.
At least knowing, like, hey, are you gonna get your ape coin? Your ape shares?
I am. I'm keeping a couple.
When does that come out?
I think they said like the 19th or something. You had to own shares by the 19th or something to get one ape
share
share for every share of AMC that you're holding on by the 19th. So
yes, sir.
But yeah, guys. All right. Well, we got 1 minute left here. Thank you, Paper, for imparting your wisdom, showing the people kind of what you do and what your process looks like. It was a slow afternoon, but it was still pretty good session here.
There'll be lots coming.
Everything it's all relative. Some days it's like just nonstop action. Some days it's a little slower. But you guys can always follow us on any of our social media platforms for a ton of free content. We try and put out as much free stuff as possible. Follow or join our Facebook group if you aren't already in there, Stock Dads. It's a private group. We got a TikTok where our buddy Mr. Consistency Chris Chung does a lot of awesome content for us there. If you're watching us on YouTube already, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we do a lot of videos and educational stuff as well on top of the live trading every once in a while. And then follow us on Twitter and all the good stuff. We're everywhere, so just check us out. We also do a quick little pitch for one of Fuzz's babies. Every morning he sends out the Dadvantage report, which is it's an email blast that has all of the major keys to the market for that day. We give out a free watch list alert every day. Something that's on our watch list, not necessarily an alert, but something that's on our watch list to check out. You can sign up for that by going to our website, stockdads.com/dadvantage. We're all about the dad puns. So, and get that, sent to your inbox every morning and, kind of get a taste of things there for free as well. So we appreciate you guys, and Paper, appreciate you, man. We'll see you next week in the Discord. Next week, we will not be sharing this publicly. This will be private in the Discord, and most weeks will be. But we're in there if you guys want to catch us. So,
Yeah,
All right,
this
man.
was fun. Thank you, Paper. Yeah, I was learning from you, especially with the Cisco stuff. So that was pretty good. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
the earnings is different, right? Like,
Yeah.
what did you say? And like, he's right. If you're trying to trade directional with options, that is a gamble. But there is a better way, I promise.
Yeah.
Tesla
Which
split
may be an
coming.
allusion to something that we have down the road, with Paper and some, education on
Now
that
he's talking
system and
special
stuff like
sauce.
that. So, what's that?
Now that's some special sauce stuff for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
When's the
So-
Tesla split too? By the way, a couple days, right? 3-1 split on what does it say? 25th.
Yes, the 25th, I do believe. Yeah.
That's next Thursday. Interesting event
Yep.
Coming.
August 25th.
coming near.
All right,
boys and
guys,
girls.
we're gonna wrap up here.
It's
If
been
you
real.
guys watched this, even after the fact, drop us a comment, whatever. Let us know that you liked it. If you want us to do more, hit us up in the comments, and I will consider doing this a little bit more often. But we appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
We're out.